Good morning. It is Friday, September 28th, 2012. This is Jason Horak in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, looking at the Dodge Daytona electric vehicle. It's been a very exciting convention so far, with the car breaking down a couple times. Most specifically, the motor broke yesterday, or actually on Wednesday, and I was out doing some errands, driving around, no big deal, and on my way over to the EVTV shop, the motor blew out, so ended up being kind of a pretty major deal. Had damage to the rotor, and it wasn't salvageable. So there are certain pieces of the motor which can be rebuilt into a new one, but it's still going to be a very expensive proposition, and obviously wouldn't have gotten me back on the road right away. So what we ended up doing was I bought Jack Rickard's motor. He had a little 9-inch net gain motor that he had rebuilt not too long ago, and had done a bunch of testing with his different brushes and so forth, starting out with the original, I believe they were H47 brushes, or something like that, that were kind of a soft brush that came originally with the motor, and then he had tried the Hellwig H60 split top brushes, and found that there was quite a bit of an improvement as far as range and efficiency. And then he tried just a kind of an experimental brush from Tom Brunca of Hellwig. Hellwig Carbon is the name of the company that makes the brushes. So that was an H60 brush also, but not split top, or it didn't have a split down the middle. So Jack had gone and done a bunch of testing to see if that particular brush was as efficient, or if it was the material, or if it was the physical configuration of having the split in the brush that made all those advantages to the range, to the efficiency anyway. So anyway, I now have his motor in here, and he gave me a good deal on it and took my old broken motor in trade, so I didn't have to pay shipping, so that worked out, and I got my car back on the road, so everybody wins. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick update today. So I'm going to take the car out for its first test drive with the new motor, and we'll see how it goes. I've been driving it around town just kind of at slow speeds and taking it real easy, but we have a drag race event tonight, or this afternoon, and I want to actually run the car in the drag race and give it the beans, so to speak. So what I'm going to do is take it out on the highway now and just kind of gradually ease up to full throttle, and we'll see how fast it goes, and hopefully burning the motor a little bit more, or burning those brushes, because it's kind of, I'm not really sure. He did it on camera of how much time he spent burning in seating the brushes is what it's called, and that's about all that this motor has been run, other than me driving around town with it. So, again, on these brushes. So before I do the drag race event, I'm going to try to put as many miles on the car as I can, and what better opportunity than trial by fire on the highway. So this is the hotel where I'm staying, and right out there is Route 55, which is a highway similar to Route 81 near where I live. It's an interstate. So I'm just going to go out on there and take a little drive up at highway speeds and see what happens. So hopefully my next video won't be me getting towed back to the shop again, but you never know. These things happen. So anyway, here we go, and I'm going to data log this, by the way, with the Avnetics data logger program. I got that all set up with my laptop. I'm running off the wireless router in the car, so that should give us some real live test data if something catastrophic should happen. And I guess we'll go from there. So take care, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so just wanted to do some preliminary number crunching. So we're sitting at 199.1/.2 volts, and that's pretty much fully charged for this pack. I charged it to 204 volts, and it actually crept up to about 208 just with the way the charger's set up. So according to Jack, that's about 3.46 volts per cell, something like that, which is comfortably within their safety range. There's no danger of overcharging, that kind of thing. And so then when they settled down to 199.2, after a full night's rest. So it's 11:17 in the morning, and over here we have the mileage, which is currently at 164,936, and I have reset the trip meter to 0 just to see where we're at. As far as amp hours consumed, we are at 8.74 amp hours. I had zeroed it out after charging yesterday, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how far we get. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to start up the Soliton data logger, which again is connected with the wireless little PCMCIA card here, because my laptop's too old to actually have wireless built in. And we're going to start the data logger. So there it goes. It shows 200 volts, so it's close, and currently we are not moving. Okay, so I'm going to try not to shaky cam this up too bad, and we'll go ahead and back on out of here. Oh, an interesting point of fact, I was playing around with the settings yesterday, and I set the throttle, the idle speed rather, to idle the motor. So I'm probably going to have to turn that off in the software before we continue here too far, just because that's not how I normally run the car. So we'll just kind of take a stop here and take a look at the settings. Although it's not idling now, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's fine. Okay, maybe I didn't set it. Never mind. Ignore the man behind the curtain. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. I have no idea where that road goes, so we'll go this way. And I'm going to put this on the amp display because I want to watch what the amps are doing. That's kind of the important thing. The controller is limited to 500 amp output at this point, or sorry, battery draw, which I'm told is not the same thing as motor current, but every time I've graphed it, it seemed like it stayed pretty much the same. It might spike a little bit for a second or two, or not even a second, but on the motor side of things, depending on what your voltage is set to. But as far as the total amp output, because my voltage is so similar between the setting on the motor, so the motor is set to 170 volts limit, and the this is always fun. So 500 amps, pulling, going up on the highway, trying to outrun the crazy traffic here in Missouri. Sorry about that. A little tricky to shift while holding the camera and going fast. Alright, so we're tooling along here at 70 miles an hour. 71. and pull at about 240 amps. And it fluctuates. We are going up a grade. 75 miles an hour. Trying to not go too fast. Trying not to punish the motor too bad, but you know, this is about what traffic is doing, so this is what I gotta do. So I'm not really sure where the next exit is. Looks like Jackson is the next town. So we'll take this exit, whip around, and then head on down through Cape, staying on Route 55 here. So it should be interesting to see what we do. I really don't know. Looks like kind of on a flat, it's sort of flat, 76 miles an hour, we're pulling 152 amps, 157-ish. It's really hard to hold steady, especially when you're going up hills. You know, you're always going to get more amp draw going uphill than down, or than on a flat, and if you're going down, of course, you're using less or none. So, but yeah, this is a pretty sizable little incline here. I had forgotten that the hills around here are actually very similar to the hills around where I live in central New York. So it's not so bad. So, again, very similar. So we're pulling about 300 amps going up that hill. And let's go ahead and take this route. Exit here, and oh, we got fire trucks. That's not cool. Alright, let's go this way. Don't really know where we're going. We're still in 5th gear, and we need to shift, so pardon the sharp camera moves. Turn here, but I don't know where I'm going. There's a fire truck down there, but it looks like it's perhaps on the side of the road, so we should be okay. Just getting back up onto the highway here going south. At least that's the plan. We're going to keep it in 3rd. So, you know, I talked to George Hamstrid about my motor blowing up, and one of the things that he said was that I wasn't running, he thought the motor may not have been run hard enough, like it wasn't keeping it at the right RPM, like I was running it with too low RPM, so the fan wasn't spinning and giving it enough cooling. Now this is very interesting because I'm not really sure at what speeds I was running the motor at. I tried to keep it between 2,500 and 3,000 RPMs because that's really where you feel the power band of the motor. And you know, so we're pushing 3,500, maybe 4,000, doing 73 in 4th gear. So. Keeping in 5th gear is a little tricky because sometimes there's a stick in this car. There we go. Alright, so here we are, 2 along, 80 miles an hour. Try to hold it down to 80. Tricky. Come on, a little less. Come on. Going uphill. Shouldn't have problems slowing down. There we go, so 80 miles an hour, kind of up an incline, and 150 to 170 amps. And again, that's at, I don't know, 190 some odd volts. Yeah, although probably the sagging. Let's see if I can switch that without killing us all. Yeah, alright, so 187. obviously not having any problem motoring down the highway at 80 miles an hour with a new motor, new brushes. It's reasonably quiet. So many cars. I have not seen this much traffic on this road any other time I've been here. But then again, it's Friday, getting on lunchtime, so I suppose if any time was going to be busy, it would be now. So it's, but the car seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, we've gone 7 miles, and we're going to be passing the Dury Lodge again. So that's the Dury over there. So kind of gotten a little bit used to driving around in Cape. It's pretty straightforward. This highway goes north-south, kind of right along the side of everything, and so one exit down from the Dury Lodge, which is this one coming up, is where I would get off if I was going to go down and visit Jack's shop, or go to his house or whatever. So that's kind of fun. But we're going to keep going on this a little bit more because I want to put some more miles on this motor, so we're just going to kind of cruise on down, probably to the airport, which is a couple exits down, and yeah, because we are headed south at this point, or no, we're headed north at this point. Yeah, north. Sure. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. This way. So yeah, Route 74 is the road down here that goes to over that big giant bridge near Jack's house and over into Illinois. So I had driven over that bridge last year just to do it, to say, yes, my electric car has been to Missouri and to Illinois, you know, by like a couple miles or something, but I still felt cool, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, anyway, so we're getting a little bit of rain. It's kind of been raining on and off this week. Not too bad, but might kind of put a damper on things this afternoon if they're going to try to do drag racing in the rain. I wonder if there's a special class for that. Like, you know, extra points for getting a good time when the track is completely wet. Or they may just cancel it altogether, I don't know. So, we will find out. But yeah, so again, yeah, the EV doesn't have any problems cruising along the highway at highway speeds, and you know, it can do 100 miles an hour with the current configuration. You know, pulling 500 amps in 5th gear. And it does get there relatively briskly. So we'll put some lights on. It's raining. And, we're going to go to... Alright, yeah, so there's the airport exit. So this is the next one coming up. We'll shoot in front of this truck here, I think. Not entirely sure when it comes up on us. It said 1 mile, but so kind of slow down here for my exit. But yeah, so the car's doing, you know, it's doing good considering the motor blew up on Wednesday, and we had a new motor in there that afternoon. Or that evening, actually, and you know, I drove it to the hotel Wednesday night, and I drove it over to the Show Me Center Arena in Cape, which is where the convention is being held this year, and you know, it worked good. Charged it up. Been having some issues with the charger, actually. I'm kind of rambling here, but hey, that's what I do. So the charger has the new push button settings from Manzanita. Instead of using the little Vichet tool, you can press the buttons on it to set the voltage, which is where it's supposed to stop and, you know, or cut off charging. and it doesn't stop. It kinda keeps on going, and so what I ended up having to do was adjust the voltage quite a bit lower on the panel than what I really wanted it to be. So you know, like, I wanted to charge 204 volts. I ended up having to set the charger to about 180 in order to get a 204 volt on the meter here. So it's kind of not calibrated at the moment, and luckily Rich Rudman and Steve something or other, I'm not sure what Steve's last name is, had come down to the convention, and so I was able to talk to him a little bit, and Rich mentioned that there was up here. We got the power. 85, 300 amps. So, anyway, so Richard said that there was an adjustment inside the charger, kind of behind where those push buttons are, that you can make, you know, with the special tool, kind of a potentiometer type situation. And so I think I can use that to calibrate the charger to make it so that when it says 204 volts on the little push button things, it actually matches 204 volts according to my meter up here. So it should be fine, but I do need to take a little extra work with that to make it so that I don't accidentally overcharge the pack and stuff, because that's sort of what you really don't want to do. But yeah, anyway, so we're cruising along. Things are looking good. I'm going to be taking the exit going 74 east up here, and that'll take me over kind of near where Jack's shop is, DVTV Motor Works, and then I'll head over to the Show Me Center, probably just in time for lunch. So I kind of missed out on this morning's panel of, you know, different speakers, but I'm going to buy the video, so I'll catch up. It'll be fine. And yeah, so anyway, just figured I would take the EV out for a test drive with its new Hellwig H60 brushes, and you know, I pushed it a little bit, but you know, we'll find out on the drag race track this afternoon if I manage to break something else. Because hey, there's got to be a few parts left that haven't been broken all to pieces. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, that wasn't very much later. So this is the Kings Highway that we're crossing up here. I'm coming up Route 74, and just incidentally, this was where my motor blew up 2 days ago. I was coming down there from the left, and you know, just stopped at the stoplight, just like normal, and then when I turned and accelerated up this modest incline, that's when the motor went chug, 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 and it was all bad. So anyway, because of the timing, 11:30, I might actually stop by the shop just to see if anybody is kicking around, and try to get some video of the shattered motor, you know, with the chunks missing. Might be fun. So, but yeah. So anyway, so this is just Route 74, and it's a 45-mile-an-hour zone. I'm trying to keep the RPMs up to keep that fan spinning. So I've got it in third gear, doing 53 miles an hour and 4,000 RPMs. And normally I would shift to fourth at this point, just because that seems like we're straining the motor a bit, but again, according to George, he said that's better to run it higher to get that fan moving and keep things cool. So I trust in his wisdom, for he is the motor guru. So there's that bridge that I was referring to, the Illinois bridge. You know what? I'm going to go over that again, because that was just so much fun last time. We're going to go up into 4th gear. And again, it's 45 miles an hour here, so I'm trying not to speed too bad. But yeah, that's about right as far as speed then. We're doing about 3,000 RPMs. It's interesting because I can watch my little RPM gauge here on the dash. So I'll actually pass this guy because 4th gear, still going, accelerating. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that in 4th gear at, we'll say 50 miles an hour, seems to be about 3,000 RPMs, give or take. So here we go, across the Mississippi River in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, on this big ginormous bridge. There's the Mississippi down there, the Illinois state line. Now we're in Illinois. Isn't that exciting? Yay! Hello, Illinois! Presumably still 45. So anyway, we're going to get on here to the same place that I turned around last year. I think it's like a little turnaround spot. And yeah, we'll head on back and possibly visit the shop and get some shots, or I'll just head to the Show Me Center, and we'll go from there. Alright, go with the super fast turn in front of the big truck, and accelerating. This whole shifting while holding the camera thing is really tricky. I'm doing better at not flailing the camera around, but it's still kind of sort of a over that 5th gear. Yeah, the 5th gear has always made that grinding noise in this car ever since I bought it, even when it was a gas car. I'm sure there's some little gear in there that's worn, or I don't know, like synchronizer or some such thing. But shoulder work. Let's go head over to the side. House is roughly over there, and this is the Southeast River campus, where we had the dinner last year, and probably again this year. I think it's going to be held at the same spot, just kind of in that building right there, and that'll be, I think, Saturday night, if I recall correctly, because since tonight's all the drag racing and stuff. Southeast River campus for State University of Missouri. Is that what that is? I don't know. Morgan Oak Street. As seen in many EVTV videos, when Jack's tooling around in his Escalade or other vehicles. So here we are at the EVTV shop. Show me there. Door's closed. Looks like they got some trucks and stuff going on. Well, they have people working on their cars. That's cool. Alright, we're just going to go down to the Show Me Center arena because I can charge there and you know, there'll be panels and stuff going on and lots of cars. And, that should be fun. So anyway, at this point we've done 20 miles and 55.9 amp hours. and we're still data logging on the Soliton. Says we've been going for 34 minutes, give or take, so that's fun. And so now this poor little motor is going to get some city driving, where it doesn't really get up to as fast as speeds, and so thus less airflow. And I don't know. I would think that wouldn't be so bad, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, so this is kind of downtown Cape Girardeau. There seems to be a critter flying around in my car. Mosquito or some such thing. Incidentally, Willem Street, or is that William? I don't know. I can't spell. That's the street that we're crossing is actually the same street that the Derry Lodge is on, or it takes us over to the Derry Lodge. So I can get there without going on the highway. So anyway, it's going to be kind of a dull little driving between stoplights at this point, so I will not bore you all to tears any further, but I'll catch up with you all when I get to the Show Me Center Arena. Okay, so here we are back at the Show Me Center Arena, and as you can see, we've put 22.3 miles on the car, and we're sitting at 197.4 volts, and we've used up a total of 60 amp hours. So that seems like a lot, actually, for a 22-mile trip. It was highway miles and so forth. So anyway, I did log the whole trip, so we'll take a look at the Soliton and see what happens.